Hello and welcome to Somerville Highlander Softball on Somerville Ed TV. My name is Todd Harmon, and today the Highlanders open out their home schedule here at Trum Field against the reigning GBL champion Medford Mustangs. As you see, Somerville Mayor Jake Wilson out there throwing out the first pitch. Looks like that might have dropped across the plate into the glove of Highlander catcher Lillian Fusil. Sure, she framed that perfectly. He might have gotten a called strike on that. I'm not totally sure. Mayor Wilson may come by to visit us at our broadcast position. Of course, he did when he threw out the first pitch at the boys' baseball game, as the Highlanders were able to defeat Lynn Classical in that home opener. A big win for the Highlander baseball squad. Today, though, here at the softball diamond at Trum Field, we've got the Medford Mustangs in to face off against the Highlanders. The Mustangs, the top team in the GBL all last year, coming off an undefeated GBL season. They were 18-2 overall. They were ranked number 31 in Division I going into the playoffs, defeated Everett in the qualifying round, and lost to eventual state runner-up number 2 ranked Wachusett in the round of 32. Highlanders last year, rebuilding year, 3-17, ranked number 71 in Division II. They were swept by the Mustangs last year, 17-4 and 13-0. As the Highlanders, very young squad as we look up and down their roster. No seniors on this Highlander team. So a very youthful team for the Highlanders, under the tutelage of new head coach Ashley Fury, as she has moved into the lead seat on the Highlander bench. Highlanders will have on the mound today Violet Laurent, as Violet will get the start. Medford, just to give you an understanding of how good Medford has been, they have not lost a GBL game since Wednesday, May 15th of 2024. That was a loss to Everett. That was their last GBL loss. So Medford, a powerhouse of the GBL, coming in here to open the season at Trum Field against the Highlanders. And we are joined right here at our broadcast position by Somerville Mayor Jake Wilson. Jake, how are we doing?
Hey, Todd. Me again.
Nice pitch.
A little high, but
I think it may have dropped in.
Depending on the height of the batter. Right?
Fusil, I think Fusil would have framed that perfectly. I think Lillian could take care of that. She knows exactly what to do with it and would have worked that strike for you.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, very excited to be here. What an amazing day.
Absolutely.
We thought the weather was nice for the baseball home opener last week. This is doing it one better.
No doubt about it.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely. A beautiful day here at Trum Field, up in the 60s. We have partly cloudy skies as the sun has broken through. So it's going to be a beautiful day here at Trum Field. Again, just a phenomenal job by the Department of Public Works as DPW got Trum, both baseball and softball diamonds, ready early this season, ready to go to host games.
Yeah, just full appreciation for the Fields folks who made this happen. You look at it, the grass looks green, the diamond looks amazing. I was just out there, and I can tell you, it's flat. It's what you want in a surface for this. So yeah, full of appreciation for them for rising to the challenge and making sure that we could have these have baseball and softball here at Trum Field early in the month of April.
No doubt about it. Highlanders today opening out with their home opener against these Mustangs. I was detailing as you came up how tough the Mustangs have been, not losing a game in the GBL since way back in 2024, May of 2024. So the Highlanders will have their work cut out for them today.
Todd, what I hear is they're due for a loss.
That's what you hear from that. Absolutely. That's a good way to think of it.
Here?
I like it. I like it. I'm going to work on that.
It's like talking about how someone hasn't missed a free throw in their last 35 attempts.
Exactly.
You just know the next one's going to
They're clanking it. They're clanking it. That's what's going to happen. Well, the Highlanders are going to have a tough road to hoe today, but up on the mound is Violet Laurent. She will be out there in the circle for the Highlanders. Over on the Mustang side, Sid will be in the circle for the Mustangs. Mustangs come in with an overall record of 2-0, 1-0 in the GBL. Highlanders 1-2. As they are 0-2 in the GBL, but coming off a huge win. Let's see here, it was a 15-2 win at Cristo Rey in Dorchester. So the Highlanders had the hot bats there against Cristo Rey.
Is that Latin for Christ the King?
I believe that might be correct, as a matter of fact. And Juliana Almeida, fantastic for the Highlanders offensively. First baseman Olivia Prophet as well has been tremendous offensively for the Highlanders this year. So we have the conversations going on. Mayor Wilson, great to have you here, Jake. How has been the excitement level as you've gone around? I see you all the time out at the different events. What is the excitement level when you go to these events around Somerville?
For me or for other people?
Well, what do you see when you get there in terms of how excited everyone else is, and for you as well?
I mean, I think people always like seeing their elected officials come out and support, student athletes, our athletic teams. We got some amazing ones here in Somerville. We have a really good athletic department. I want to give credit to Stanley Vieira, our athletic director, and of course, Indira The Edge.
The Edge.
As assistant there. We have a really, really good athletic department. I'm thrilled that I have a family member now who's part of that Somerville Athletics family. My daughter Ingrid is a freshman, made the varsity soccer team, and is playing with the lacrosse team this spring.
Lots of crossover going into that lacrosse team. We see players from the girls basketball team as well. Nora Gamache, Regan Antonelli out there playing. Gertisha Morellis out there as well on that lacrosse team. And of course, lots of soccer players as well playing on the lacrosse team.
Absolutely. If you think about it, all these sports where you're trying to move a ball or a puck or an object around and get it into a goal, they have really similar aspects to them. And I tell you, I love coaching as a soccer player, hockey players, especially as a striker, because they know where to be. They know how to position themselves so they're in the right place at the right time. Because it's an intelligence, it's a skill, it's a sense of where should I be, where's the ball or the puck gonna fall. I love coaching a hockey player for soccer.
Yeah, speaking of hockey players, in terms of other sports, over on the lacrosse pitch for the boys, tons of hockey players over there. Pasquale Candolino leading in scoring for the Highlander boys lacrosse team. He had 8 goals in his first 2 games. So Pasquale, the senior, showing things that he can do on the lacrosse pitches. We are getting warmed up here at Trum Field. It's going to be a nice one as the sun's gone behind some clouds, a nice breeze as the wind is blowing from right to left field. So it will be interesting to see what effect that might have as the throw is down to second base, and we are about to get underway. Medford will lead off with Isabel, followed by Eve, followed by Sid, the shortstop, left fielder, and their pitcher today, as they will go against Violet Laurent, the pitcher for the Highlanders today.
Yeah, hopefully Somerville will get off to a good start here at home. Hopefully the home field brings some luck. Not that they need luck, but eager to see what we do against our good friends from next door in Medford.
The neighborly rivals over in Medford, absolutely, no doubt about it, as Isabel steps in from the right-hand side of the plate and then steps right back out. And we are about to be underway here from Trum Field as the first pitch from Laurent, down low, ball 1 into Isabel. Highlanders had a tough opener, losing 8-5 to Chelsea at Chelsea. As that pitch down low, ball 2, right around the knees there.
Yeah, I talked to some of the girls. They'd shown up at the boys volleyball game afterward, and they were telling me about that game. Tough way to start the season, but hey, it's another opener here. It's a home opener.
That one up high from Laurent. That'll be ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Now the count to Isabel. Mentioned Medford's strength in softball, reigning GBL champions, as Medford carried away the championships on both diamond sports last year, baseball as well as softball, as that one's in at the knees for called strike 1.
Not sure how convincing the show and bunt was up 3-0. I wasn't buying it.
That's a hot shot. Left-hand side of the infield, going to get through to Giovanna Varela out in left as she gets it into the diamond, but over the head of the shortstop, Emily Joggin. So Isabel will be in at second with a single, and then she'll advance.
If she were feeling really adventurous, she probably could have gone for third because the Highlanders had no one covering third right there. But thankfully for us, she stayed put at second.
That'll bring up Eve for left fielder for the Mustangs. So they now have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Foul ball here to the third base side for strike one.
Yeah, we got to be lively here in case we get a foul ball headed our direction.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, over here in our broadcast position, next to our camera position, got to stay awake. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on the ball as it comes off the bat. That was up high, ball one, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. That one fouled back, yep, into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. So look up and down the Highlander roster, not a senior to be seen upon the roster. So lots of youth out there. I know head coach Ashley Fury, I should say, is excited, as that was up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. She mentioned how excited she is as well, getting to play early April softball here at Trump.
Yeah, it's a feeling going around.
That one down low, runs the count full, and Isabel will move up on that pass ball. So full count now to the Mustang left fielder. As that is down low, I think ball 4, and it is. Eve heads on to first base, and now runners on the corners for the Mustangs. Their pitcher Sid coming up to the plate.
Got to get an out here, Todd.
That one up high, and Eve will take second base. So that was conceded. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Mustangs.
Wind is picking up here. Oh,
It's a hot shot into center field. Coming up to make the play is Ryan, but that's going to score 2 as the Mustangs get out to the lead. 2 RBI single from the number 3 hitter for the Mustangs.
that was some pretty solid contact.
So the Mustangs getting things going. They were in double digits against the Highlanders twice last year, 17-4, as well as 13-0. As that pitch up high, ball 1 to Cat, the center fielder.
Fired back by the catcher there.
Medford rolled it up against Malden with 20 runs in their opener, as that one's going to drop in right field for the single.
For third.
As Sid moves on to third, Joggin will bring it back in. Get it back into the circle. So once again, Medford with runners on the corners after a single again, this time by Cat. That'll bring up Joy, the first baseman.
Yeah, Medford really hitting some line drives there. Really making solid contact. Putting 3 with some velocity into the outfield.
That one up high, ball 1, and the runner takes second.
Somerville seems to just be ceding the stolen base to pretty much every runner on first.
As that one down low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now the count. That one's up high, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. So the Highlanders looking to get their first out of the game here, trailing 2-0. 2 runners in scoring position for the Mustangs. That one left up high, so all the bases are loaded here. 4 straight balls. That'll bring up Ava, the third baseman. She settles into the batter's box. Highlander infield will come in. If they're able to field it, play will be at home. Low pitch there. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
I feel like Somerville just needs an out here, just calm things down.
So that will be up high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, now the count. Medford coming off a tough 3-1 victory over Greater Lawrence. Low scoring contest in that one. Is that Nubber right back up the middle, and she is safe at second base as Almeida fielded the ball but wasn't quite able to get over there in time to touch the bag. Runner on third comes home to score, as well as the runner who was on second. So 2 runs in. 2 more runs in, I should say.
Not sure the scoreboard operator caught the runner on second coming around to score.
4-0.
You did though, Todd.
Yes, 4-0 now the lead. Isla comes up, the catcher. That pitch up high, ball 1. That one's in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count. That touch down low in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. Violet Laurent, the freshman pitcher for the Highlanders, gets that one by her. Swings and miss. Strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. It's the scoreboard now adjusted. They've got that 4th run up.
Yeah. That was a tough one. She just couldn't, you can see she just couldn't find the bag with her foot there.
2-2 offering up high. Ball 3, count runs full.
There's a big pitch coming up.
Left that one down low. Ball 4, bases loaded yet again as the Mustangs fill them. Brings up the right fielder, Lacey. Highlanders, as you said, Jake, need to just get an out, get something going their direction here.
Yep.
And that will be an hit by pitch for the RBI. 5-0 now the lead as everybody moves up.
I feel that one in my shoulder. It's got to not feel good.
Second baseman Ruby up now for the Mustangs as they are on the verge of batting around. Number 9 batter up. Down low in the dirt, ball 1. That one popped up. As settling underneath it and making the play is Profit.
There we go.
So Olivia Profit able to squeeze that one. One
See if
away.
that calms us down.
1 away here. That turns the lineup over. Here's Bill up. She singled and scored earlier this inning.
Must have been outside.
Just a bit outside. Yeah. Ball 1. Highlanders trailing 5-0. Bases full of Mustangs. 1 away here. Top of the first. Home opener at Trum. As that one just misses as well. 2 balls, no strikes now the count. That's in there for called strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now the count. Highlander infield remains in. His bases are loaded. 1 away. Hot shot third base. Great job there at third. As Kelly makes the play, tags third base, but doesn't make the throw anywhere, so the run does come in. Good glove there shown by Alexis Kelly.
As they've discussed where she might have gone with that throw if she'd tried for it. Always risky to throw all the way across the diamond, right?
Right.
But, yeah, it's a tough one to also try to throw home on and try to get a tag play at home just because of the angle, you know, from the bag.
That's a fly ball out in left field as Varela comes on to play it on a few hops. That's going to score another run. Isla comes around from second base. Lacey in safe at third.
Good pop-up slide there at third base, Todd. You love to see it.
The fundamentals, you got to have the fundamentals. Double right there for the number 2 batter, Eve. That brings up Sid, the pitcher. She had a 2 RBI single to get the scoring started for Medford. Now leading 7-0. That's in there, called strike on the inside.
I was doing math because I knew it was more than 6 runs, and I was trying to figure out just how crooked the number was up there. You're right, it's 7, right?
Yes, I believe it is 7.
This is their number 3 hitter. They've got 2 outs, right?
Correct.
And 2 on.
As that one popped down the first base line, 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Highlanders trying to limit the damage here to 7 runs this inning in the top of the first. That's a fly ball, short right center coming in. Unable to get to it is Leiden Campagne. She will get that back into the infield, but 2 more runs come in to score. And that will make the score 9-0 according to my score sheet.
I think you're right. I've got it as 9-0 also.
It's Cat up. She singled earlier this inning. The lefty swings and misses.
I can tell you from practicing warm-up pitches, you can get some movement on this ball.
That ball up high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count.
They showed me a better grip for when I went to actually go throw out that first pitch.
What was the secret of this grip, Jake?
Well, it was basically three fingers sort of pads the finger on one of the seams.
There you go.
I had much better control. I appreciated that tip.
So that's a number back to the mound. Tossed over to first, and that will do it. As on the 1-3 put out, the Highlanders out of the inning, but not until they gave up 9 runs. It's 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Highlanders will have the opportunity to answer back as the top of their order will be up.
Let's see if we can get some runs here. So Todd, you cover a lot of games.
Yes.
What's your favorite? Not that anyone has favorites. What's your? Obviously, you love them all equally, but what's the most fun to commentate on?
As our viewers will attest, I enjoy speaking quite a bit. It's because I come from a radio background, as my first broadcasting job was in radio.
You don't say.
And it was covering baseball. And so baseball is probably my favorite thing to cover. I've always found, honestly, in terms of baseball, a television broadcast is second in terms of enjoyment if you have a good radio broadcaster bringing you the baseball game.
Speaking my language, I grew up on a farm in Iowa. We did not have cable TV. My summers were spent, once it gets dark, those AM transmissions really carry. And I remember being able to catch radio broadcasts from Atlanta, from Cincinnati, from Colorado, from once the Rockies came in. Yeah, and I could, and obviously you could get, Royals, Twins, Cardinal games, 1120 KMOX in St. Louis.
My
750 AM out of Atlanta. I remember, it's funny, I remember these remember these frequencies, actually. They're burned into my brain.
Well, my father grew up in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, in Bristol, and right on the border there, and he was able to listen to WLW out of Cincinnati every single night, that AM signal that came straight through Kentucky.
Is that right?
850 WLW,
yeah,
and that was the Cincinnati Reds broadcast, so he became a Cincinnati Reds fan. And just when you're audibly listening to a game, it's a very personal experience. You really gain a connection with the broadcaster as well. If you have a good broadcaster, they can draw that picture for you.
Like Marty Brenneman?
There you go. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Yeah, vivid memories of that. Just just lying in bed, falling asleep, listening to some baseball on the radio.
Highlanders coming up here in the bottom half of the first. Got some work to do, trailing 9-0 as Emily Joggin will step in, the shortstop for the Highlanders. Joggin, a good bat for the Highlanders leading off, makes good contact.
Good spirit in the dugout there for the Highlanders. They're ready to get some runs here.
As that one's in there for called strike one.
It's a good fastball. There's some heat coming in there. Well, the harder it comes in, the faster it leaves, right?
That is the hope, is Joggin able to get around on that one, knocks it down the first baseline just foul.
You could tell, like the pace it was coming in at, that got on her very quickly, and she was late. We'll see, maybe she's got a time now.
No balls, 2 strikes now to Joggin. Wouldn't be shocked if Sid takes a little bit off here. No, she does not. Brings that rise ball right back in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count.
You gotta learn that rise ball.
I am a University of Tennessee fan, of course. They have a quality softball program and tremendous pitching down there. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Joggin. As that will be strike 3, swinging. Joggin goes down on that fastball. Kind of a rise ball type situation, starting from down low, coming up through that strike zone. Very, very difficult to get on top of that with that velocity.
Well, I was talking to the Somerville coaches before the game, and they were saying a lot of these girls are playing softball for the first time.
Alexis Kelly steps in. That's called strike 1 to Kelly.
And that's why it's important. You got to build that youth pipeline, right?
No doubt about that. As the former head of Somerville Youth Soccer, you're aware of the necessary pipeline to build, and then I believe Somerville Highlander Soccer has seen some success due to quality youth soccer in the city. As that's towards second base, fielded over there by Ruby. She'll toss it over to first, and the 4-3 put out takes care of Kelly. That'll bring up Lillian Fusil, the catcher for the Highlanders.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where having really good youth programs can really pay off.
That one's in there, called strike to Fusil. Great control shown so far on the mound by the Medford pitcher, Sid. That'll be outside, just a little bit high as well. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike now the count to Fusil. Highlanders would love to get Olivia Profit, who is on deck right now, to the plate. She's the power of this offense. So that one fouled back into the screen by Fusil. Olivia could give them that opportunity to get something on the board here with her powerful bat.
I just want to get some base runners here, Todd.
Absolutely. As that's in there, called strike 3, and that will do it for the Highlanders in the bottom half of the first inning. They go down 1, 2, 3, and we will move on to the top half of the second inning. Highlanders trailing in this one as the Mustangs lead 9-0. You were talking about grips earlier, Jake.
Yep.
I mentioned that I began by covering baseball. It was a wooden bat scouting league for college players, very similar to Cape Cod,
Yep.
same level as Cape Cod, the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Just as a quick Advertising note for the North Shore Navigators over in Lynn, by the way. They play in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. You can go there. You can see players from other teams as well as the Navigators that are playing in college that are being scouted, looking to go to the pros. When I was up in Keene, New Hampshire, where I was broadcasting for the NECBL, multiple players did end up in the major leagues. And I had a lot of fun because I was, my first season, put up in the Keene State College dorms, and my suite mate was the pitching coach for the team, and we would spend the nights just talking away, and he would talk to me about grips on pitches and different ways to get, you know, a change up or a fastball, the difference between the four-seamer and the two-seamer, and how that affects the movement, and just it's a great opportunity to watch really good baseball. The NECBL, and the cost is quite economical.
It is. So that's why similarly you mentioned the Cape Cod League, right? That's why it's such a pastime on the Cape, I know. Coming out and watching some baseball, seeing some, you know, possible future stars there.
No doubt about it.
As they show off what they can do with wood bats.
Yes, and that's the thing. It was always interesting to watch these players coming in. A lot of them had just gotten done at the College World Series, and they'd come in, and they would have been hitting with those aluminum bats, and then suddenly they're dealing with the wood. And it was described to me by Andy LaRoche, who went on to play for the Braves and the Pirates organizations, and Braves and Pirates at the major league level. It was like hitting a baseball with a wet newspaper.
Adam's brother?
Yes, Adam LaRoche's younger brother. That is correct.
Yeah, it's if you've never swung an aluminum bat and then tried to hit a wood bat, it's a totally different feeling. As a spectator, you don't hear that ping sound you're so used to.
The crack of the bat is
the crack of the bat versus the ping of the bat.
It is a beautiful, visceral thing, honestly. The crack of the bat, especially after working the NECBL for as long as I did, and wooden bat scouting leagues, just such. It's just there's a feeling. I will also compare it to the opening of basketball season, feeling or hearing the squeaks of the shoes on the floor. You can just you're back in season. As we get a pinch hitter up here for Medford.
We'll see if things calm down here. Second inning for the Highlanders. That was a rough first one, but
down 2 balls, no strikes.
I know you've been here.
There's Laurent. Fires this one in. Grounded. Third base. Fired across the diamond. Too high. As Kelly airmailed that one across. Profit not tall enough to get up to it.
That's why that throw across the diamond's always a tough one. I know from playing first base, sometimes throwing across, you get a throw airmail.
I had a coach one time yell at me to get your butt to second base. You can field everything, but you can't throw it. Get over to second base. So I was a third baseman for a little bit.
Yep.
I was the third baseman, had to take 4 hops and a skip before I could throw it across the diamond. Get halfway across before I'd release it.
Yeah. Well, in this case, I don't think it was an issue of arm strength. She had plenty of arm strength.
Plenty of it.
Yeah.
Ava up to bat. She singled back in the first, came around to score. And that's a line shot. Kelly squeezes that one, calm as can be. Nice job there by Alexis Kelly. Very difficult. Like, the ball gets on you so quickly at the hot corner. It's hard not to, kind of react slowly in that situation. But she was ready to go and was able to squeeze that ball for the out.
Well, that advanced scouting team did a good job there. They had her positioned perfectly at third base to catch that scorched ball. As it starts to rain a little, Todd.
A little bit of sprinkles. A little sprinkles.
I don't think it's going to rescue the Highlanders from the hole they've dug themselves into here, but it's an extra dimension to the game.
Trailing 9-0 as the rain begins to come down, sprinkling right now. 2 away here, I should say 1 away here in the top half of the second inning. Count is 1 ball, no strikes. That's popped up. Profit drifts back, moves forward, makes the play.
Much calmer this inning so far.
No doubt about that. As Lacey will come up.
1-2-3 inning actually, if not for the error.
Lacey up to the plate now. She was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the first inning. That one's up high, ball 1.
It just looks calmer in general for the Highlanders this inning. I know that there's been at least 1 pinch hitter so far, but everything looks calmer out there for them.
That one down low, ball 2. Feels like Lawrence been around the plate a little bit more as well.
The contact hasn't been as strong, making the bats slightly miss.
That one down low, ball 3. I may have jinxed her.
Yeah.
As that one catches the outside. Called strike 1. 3 balls and a strike, now the count.
It's good to see action on both fields here at Trump Field today.
Yeah, the JV baseball team over there, the freshmen playing up against Medford, while the varsity team is over at Medford. Huge game for the Highlanders at Medford.
Yeah.
As I noted, both Diamond Sports last year, the Mustangs took home the GBL championship. So Highlanders currently undefeated in the GBL in baseball. See what they can do against Medford. Is this one coming right over towards us? And it'll be foul.
She'll run over there and dove to catch that time. Laid out for it.
It's concrete. It's concrete. I'm not laying out on the concrete. That's postseason moves, Jake. That is not early season. You got to play all season. I got a long season ahead of me, Jake.
You got to pace yourself.
Got to pace, absolutely. As that pitch is outside, ball 4. Mustangs now with runners on first and second, 2 away here in the top half of the second inning. Ruby up, popped out to first base. Her last at bat, 0 for 1 on the day. And ball 3, or 2, I should say. Just missed on that pitch. Must have been a little bit outside. Looked like it was knee high from our angle.
Would you say just a bit outside, Todd?
In honor, I believe I would go just a bit outside. It has to be way outside to make that jump, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As that trickles through, able to get into the outfield, as Juliana Almeida was over near the bag. Hit into right field. 2 runs come in. 11-0 now the score. Actually, I'm sorry. 1 run comes in. Runner on third now and first as they're back at the corners for the Mustangs. 2 away.
And adding insult to injury, the pitch count's starting to get up there too. So.
As that's a drive into left field. As Varela will pick that one up and get it back towards the diamond. Another run will come in to score. They're able to hold the runner at third, though. As Varela got it back into jogging quickly. 11-0 now, the Medford lead. Conversation on the mound right now gives me an opportunity to talk about some of the other sports going on. You know, I mentioned, Jake, all the excitement and all around Somerville High School sports. Volleyball team off to a good start, 4-3 overall. 4-set loss to Arlington. We will have them here on Somerville Ed TV, a big GBL game against 5-1 Lynn Classical. That will be Wednesday the 15th at 5:15. That will be at Bruin Fieldhouse. Come on out and support the Highlanders in volleyball as they face off against GBL foe Lynn Classical. We'll have coverage of that game here on Somerville Ed TV. Make sure you've mashed your buttons. We might have live coverage. You know how you'll know that? If you've mashed the notification button. Like, share, subscribe, and sign up for those notifications so you'll get notifications of when we post videos and when we have special live coverage of games. Of course, I mentioned baseball team. They're on the road for the next week as they are at Medford today. They are at Malden on Wednesday, and they are at Peabody on Thursday. They'll be back here at Trum on Friday to make up what was going to be the season opening game against Chelsea. That'll be 4 o'clock on Friday the 17th here at Trum Field at the baseball diamond. Over on the lacrosse pitch, girls lacrosse out to a 2-0 GBL record, 3-2 overall. They have a huge game coming up at Medford next week. That'll be the 21st of April at 4:30. That'll be at Medford. Medford also GBL reigning champions in lacrosse. They took that title from the Highlanders, who had won it 2 years in a row. So that's a big game at Medford. Our next coverage of the girls lacrosse team will be Thursday, the 16th of April, 4 o'clock at Dilboy Field. We'll have coverage of the game against Malden that day on Thursday as the Highlanders look to remain undefeated in the GBL and girls lacrosse. And over on the boys side of the pitch, they are 1-3 overall, 1-1 in the GBL. They will be hosting winless Malden tomorrow on the 14th, Tuesday, April 14th at 4 o'clock. We'll have coverage of that game for you here on Somerville Ed TV as well. So we are all over the place. Make sure you have called up Uncle Artie in Altoona. Make sure he has mashed his buttons as well. And make sure he's got those notifications so he knows when we've posted videos.
Todd, we have a conference going on here with you. I assume someone was asked to check the pine tar on the bats, right?
George Brett will be flying out of the dugout any moment now. Tobacco juice just flinging out of the mouth.
With the widest eyes you will ever see.
That is true. That is true.
We're just gonna be here making 1980s baseball jokes if anyone needs us.
That's pretty much what we're gonna do. I can talk about Jose Cruz. I'm a big Houston Astros fan. Loved Jose Cruz back then. Cheho, as they called him down in Houston.
Those classic Astros uniforms.
Tangerine Dream Rainbow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ugliest uniforms except for the White Sox shorts look.
I just remember, I think Harold Baines had a classic 1981 card of him like up in the air wearing the shorts.
Yes, they were like 3/4 shorts or something like that.
It was wild.
And I don't know why they did it.
We know why they did it, because Bill Veeck.
That's actually, yes. Anytime.
From the genius who brought you Disco Demolition
Night. Anytime during that time frame, if you look at the White Sox organization and go, why are they doing that?
Bill Veeck.
Bill Veeck. Absolutely. Excellent point there.
I mean, it's good to do some wacky stuff. You know, Bill Veeck definitely pushed it pretty far. He ended up, I think I want to say was it the Northern League? It was St. Paul trying some wild stuff late in his career.
He lives on through the spirit of the Savannah Bananas. His spirit lives on,
absolutely.
I will say.
Absolutely. Definitely the spiritual forefather.
I was down in New Orleans recently on a trip with the wife, and the Savannah Bananas were in town in New Orleans, and I was shocked by how many people had come out, and they all had the jerseys and paraphernalia on. That is a huge, very popular situation, the Savannah Bananas.
We should point out, Todd is not a compensated endorser of the Savannah Bananas.
That is correct. Nor am I a compensated endorser of the North Shore Navigators as well. However, I like good baseball and fun baseball.
Exactly. Looks like we're getting back underway here. Hopefully we get this inning complete. I got to run to I got a 5 o'clock. I gotta get to. Love to see if we get this next out.
Man, trying to run a city. I guess he's got things to do. Jeez, can't hang out for a softball game.
2 more things tonight.
That's a fly ball, right center field, charging in, but not able to make the play. Leiden Campagne, and 2 runs will come in to score. 13-0 now the lead for the Mustangs. Runner on first. If you're curious what the mercy rule is, it is a 10-run lead after 4.5 completed innings will result in the end of the game. As unable to pull in that one for the Highlanders in center field, Soleil Ryan. Runners on the corners now for Medford with 2 away. Jake, I don't mean to keep you. I know you do have important things, actually. And
making my staff nervous here by I want to see that final out of the inning here.
Got to see the final out. We're making the mayor late, but that's fine. Nothing better than that.
My next stop is just down Broadway, so I got a feeling we'll still be okay, but we need to get that next out here.
Runners on the corners. That's a ground ball, second base, and not quite able to get it over as Almeida made the play, but wasn't able to get the throw off in time. Another run comes across. 14-0 now, the lead for the Mustangs. That's a fly ball, left field. Charging in, looking to make the play. Varela could not squeeze it, though, as 2 runners will come across to score. That makes it 16-0 Medford. Runner on second now with 2 away.
Todd, I have to take off for my next thing, but I believe in the Highlanders. We got them right where we want them here.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Highlanders will come charging back. I have no doubt. Thank you very, very much, Mayor Jake Wilson, coming out to see us at our broadcast position. Really, really do appreciate it. Very busy man. Has to get to some important city running thing, I guess.
Todd, we'll see you here shortly, probably at a lacrosse game or a boys volleyball game.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Jake.
Highlanders.
Mayor Jake Wilson, everybody. Thank you. So Highlanders trailing here, 16-0. Top half of the second inning, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count, 2 away, but a runner is at second. That's a number down the third base line. Kelly comes across, able to make the play, but in foul ground. 2 balls and a strike, now the count. That pitch up high, back to the backstop. That'll run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Down low. That will run the count full. My bad on that. Three-two offering here from Violet Laurent. And that's in there. Called strike 3. And that will do it for the Mustangs here in the second inning as they tack on, building their lead to 16-0. Highlanders will get their bottom of the second at bats as they will have the heart of the order numbers 4, 5, and 6. Prophet, Laurent, and Almeida coming up. We are back here at Trum Field. So the Highlanders open out their softball season trailing the Mustangs of Medford by the score of 16-0. Heart of the Highlander order coming up here in the bottom of the second. Prophet, Laurent, and Almeida as Prophet fouls that back into the screen. Olivia's been very strong offensively for the Highlanders so far this season. Young sophomore player. As I noted, no seniors on this team as that one's popped up. Ruby able to come in and make the play on that one for the Mustangs. Dangerous hitter for the Highlanders taken care of there. That'll bring up the Highlanders starting pitcher, Violet Laurent. She is a freshman. So I look up and down the roster, I think 5 juniors on this roster, everybody else, sophomores and freshmen. That pitch was a ball to Laurent. That went outside to Laurent, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Now the count to Violet Laurent. Highlanders trailing 16-0 to the reigning GBL champion Medford Mustangs. looking to scratch something across here is Lauren, a little behind on that rise ball. 2 balls and a strike, now the count. That was swung on and missed. Strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Swung on and missed. Strikeout, 3rd of the day for Sid, and that will bring up Juliana Almeida. That pitch left up high, ball 1. Almeida, one of the sophomores on this team. Swung on and missed, behind on that rise ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count to Almeida. Sid out there showing great control for the Mustangs. That one down low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike, now the count to Almeida. 2 away here, bottom of the 2nd. Highlanders down 16-0 as that one's just up high above the letters. Or did he call that a strike? No, he did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Almeida, good eye there by Juliana Almeida. Swung on and missed, kept the fastball down low. Almeida couldn't get to it, and that'll do it for the Highlanders in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. 1, 2, 3, they go down, and Sid rings up her 4th Highlander of the game. We'll be back for third inning action here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back at Trum Field here on Somerville Ed TV. The Highlanders trail 16-0 against the reigning GBL champion Medford Mustangs, opening out their home schedule this season. Change in the field as Jacqueline Zoe St. Bryce checks in at second base for the Highlanders. See if there are any more changes out there. I believe there may be. As this one's popped down the 3rd base line, charging in is Kelly, and that's going to be foul. No balls and a strike now. Pitch is in there for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. Laurent on the mound for the Highlanders, young freshman out there. Very young team, no seniors on this Highlander team.
I gotta go, but I'll see you.
As that one's popped back into the screen. For strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. Down low from Laurent. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Inside, ball 3. Just tipped that one. And she is out. Foul tip into the mitt. Strikeout there for Laurent. Gets her first strikeout of the day. That'll bring up Lacey. Hot shot, left field, just foul. So it fell about 6 inches foul. New left fielder in the game for the Highlanders, by the way, Brittany Joppa. Brianna Mahoney out in center field for Soleil Ryan as well. A couple defensive changes for the Highlanders. One away here, 0-1 count. In there, called strike two. No balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Down low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled down the third baseline. Nice play there by the Medford third base coach. He fielded that one. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up high, ball 2, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Too low there. Running the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Mayor Jake Wilson mentioned, Lauren's pitch count getting up high. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the game and of the inning for Laurent. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter for Medford. That pitch outside and low, ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. Now the count. Highlanders looking to get a clean inning here against the Mustangs in the top half of the third. 2 away here, nobody on base. As Laurent has been able to strike out the first 2 Mustangs she's seen this inning. That down low, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes, now the count. Fly ball down the left field line, foul. Joppa coming over looking to play that. Count remains, or count moves I should say, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, I mean. Fly ball just out into the outfield grass, jogging unable to get to it, so the bloop single for Medford. That'll turn the lineup over. Two away here, runner on first for Medford. They've not gotten any runs across here after 10 in the first, 6 in the second. Swung on and missed. Laurent striking out the first 2 Mustangs this inning before the bloop single got the runner on first. No balls and a strike, now the count. That pitch catches the lower portion for strike 2. Good knee-high pitch there by Laurent. No balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Swung on, tipped back into the screen, fouled back. Count remains. No balls, 2 strikes. Highlanders looking to get out of this third inning clean after giving up 10 in the first, 6 in the second. Ground ball, second base, charging forward, making the play over to first. Nice job there as Jacqueline Zoe St. Bryce was called upon to make the out coming in off the bench, and she's able to. 4-5 put out. And the Mustangs are done with no runs here in the top half of the third inning. We'll be back here on Somerville Ed TV for bottom of the third action in a moment. We are back here on Somerville Ed TV at Trum Field. So the Highlanders have the bottom third of the order, number 7, 8, and 9. His first pitch offering to Brittany Joppa was a called strike. That one fouled into the screen by Joppa. No balls, 2 strikes now the count. Mustangs, reigning GBL champions, have not lost a GBL contest since 2024, mid-May of 2024. So that pitch was down low, ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Japa. Lost that one on the back. Before the pitch was released. That will go as a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Japa. Grip issue there for Sid. Count runs full now to Brittany. Highlanders looking for their first base runner. They went down 1, 2, 3 in the first and second innings. Sid getting 4 strikeouts in those. Japa able to make contact there, staying alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's in there, called strike 3. Second backwards K of the day for Sid, 5th strikeout. That'll bring up Jada Good. As Good came in defensively in right field. Gets the opportunity at the plate here. That pitch down at her feet, ball 1. That pitch catching the lower portion of the zone, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Good. So much youth on this Highlander roster. Jada, one of the elder members of the roster as a junior. She swings and misses at that one. No, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count. So that one up high. Strung on strike 3 out of the catcher's mitt, but Good not able to get to first base. 6th strikeout of the game for Sid in the circle for the Mustangs. That'll bring up Brianna Mahoney. Mahoney, another freshman on this team, left-handed batter. That's in there for ball 1. Stays down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the count. And that was a swing. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of young players on this softball team. Catching that outside corner for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away here. As Mayor Jake Wilson mentioned, a lot of young players on this team, not really a lot of softball experience. So their first opportunity to play softball here. Fruits of that labor will become evident over the years as great opportunity for a freshman, for example, like Mahoney here, to face off against a really tough pitcher as she's able to strike out the side of Highlanders. 1, 2, 3. They go down in the 3rd. They trail 16-0 as we move to the 4th inning. Top half of the 4th inning coming up. Mustangs will be at bat with the lead here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back here on Somerville Ed TV. Top half of the 4th inning. Highlanders trailing this one 16-0 as the Mustangs, reigning champions in the GBL, looking every single bit that quality, as they have put up 16 runs on the Highlanders in the first 2 innings. The last inning, 3rd inning, they were held off the scoreboard as Lauren got her first strikeout of the day. 2 strikeouts in that inning, as a matter of fact. Defensive changes for the Highlanders, as Olivia Profit will move over from first base to third base. And freshman Sophia Bowie will take over at first base for Profit. Pitch in there around the feet from Laurent. Ball one. Mercy rule, by the way, would come into effect after 5 innings, 5 full innings. So the Highlanders have 2 more at-bats, bottom of the 4th and bottom of the 5th. To try to cut into the 16-run lead, they'd have to cut it to less than a 10-run lead. If the home team is trailing by 10 or more runs after 5 innings, mercy rule is in effect and the game is over. Popped up, right-hand side, Sophia Bowie settles underneath it and makes the play. Nice job there by Sophia Bowie, as the freshman brought onto the field makes the play. Similar to how second baseman Jacqueline Zoe St. Bryce was brought in off the bench, and she made the final out last inning for the Highlanders. And Sophia now up at the plate. She is doing a heck of a job on the mound for the Mustangs today. Number 3 hitter. First 2 offerings from Laurent. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes, now the count. Hot shot, third base. Profit unable to make the play as it got underneath her glove. All the way out into left field, where Joppa will get it back to the infield. Another hit there for Sid as she helps her cause. She's on at first base. That pitch inside catches the corner for strike 1. 1 away here, top half of the 4th. Highlanders down 16-0. It's the reigning GBL champions. Medford looking to go undefeated in the GBL for a 2nd straight year, as that's fouled back into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. As they went to the playoffs last year, did the Mustangs, winning in the qualifying round against Everett, then falling to eventual state runner-up. That swung on and missed. Lawrence gets her 3rd strikeout of the game. Medford lost in that round of 32 last year against that eventual state champion Wachusett, or state runner-up Wachusett, I should say. That popped into right field. Drops in for the hit. Runners on the corners now for the Mustangs. Two away here. Highlanders looking to have their 2nd straight inning with no runs allowed after 16 runs in those first 2 innings. It's going to be difficult here. Fly ball, right center field. It's going to drop in. And that'll be a double right there for Ava. And the runner comes around to score 17-0. Now the lead for the Mustangs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. That went a little low, possibly inside. It looked like it might have been knee high, but it's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, now the count. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, 2 away here. Top half of the 4th. As Laurent trying to pitch out of this trouble. Left that one up high. It's a fly ball, short right field, ranging back is Joggin. Tried to make it as she got over into the outfield grass, just not quite able to squeeze it. And that will score another run for the Mustangs as they lead 18-0 now. Lacey comes up. Struck out last time she faced Laurent. That pitch left up high, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, now the count. Highlanders, a very young team, no seniors. 5, I believe, juniors I counted on the roster. Is no throw down, runner will take second. Opportunity to get really young players like Violet Laurent out on the mound, as well as Sophia Bowie over at first base. A couple freshmen out there getting the opportunity to play here. Learning on the fly, which will pay off, no doubt, down the road for the Highlanders. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As they say, Rome not built in a day. Strike that is now 3 balls and a strike. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Runs the count full to Lacey. 2 away here. Mustangs have 2 runners in scoring position, looking to add to that 18-0 lead. Highlanders would love to get back up to the plate. Hot shot here to the near side. Fouled as it goes into the left field. Three-two offering from Laurent. This one popped up, coming right over, heading out onto Broadway. No cars were damaged during that foul ball. Count remains full. That one back into the screen. Mayor Wilson and I making 80s references. But he also referenced Disco Demolition. Well, at the plate, Lacey is staying alive. As we make another disco reference there. That one laced down the left field line. It's going to fall fair. All the way down towards the baseball diamond as Joppa has to go get it. And Lacey will come around with the home run. As anybody who's been here to Trum Field knows, there's no fencing between the softball and baseball fields. And a ball out down the line can roll for a while, as that one did. Makes it a, let's see here, 21-0 lead, I believe, for the visiting Mustangs. As number 9 hitter Ruby will come to the plate. Lawrence pitch down low, ball 1. Fly ball here, foul. Third base side, Profit lunging for it, just couldn't quite get to it. One ball, 1 strike now, the count. Hot shot, past shortstop jogging. Out into center field, gets back quickly in to hold to a single as Alexis Pereira able to get that ball in from center field. Another Medford runner on first now as they turn the lineup over. That pitch up high, ball one. Down low, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes now the count. Hot shot first base. Sophia Bowie knocks it down, keeps it in front of her, and is able to make the play. And that will do it on the 3 unassisted. But the Mustangs able to push 5 more across. They lead 21-0 as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Highlanders need to get a bunch of runs to get back in this one here on Somerville EdTV. Here on Somerville EdTV, as the top of the Highlander order will come up. Emily Joggin leading off for the Highlanders, followed by Alexis Kelly initially, but it may not be, as Joggin to shortstop. That ball thrown over. Poor throw though. Joggin will be in at second base. Highlanders have their first offensive runner here, as Joggin safe in at second base after the errant throw to first. Bring up Sophia Bowie. Bowie came in to play first base. Got the unassisted put out to end the top half of the 4th as she swings and misses at strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes now the count. Emily Joggin stands at second base for the Highlanders. Bowie swings and misses. Strike 3. 1, 2, 3. She goes right down. That will be the 8th strikeout of the game for the Mustangs hurler. 1 away now. As Fusil checks in, or steps in, I should say. She struck out looking back in the first inning. Looks at strike 1 here in the 4th. That one catches the knees. Strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes now the count to Lillian Fusil, the Highlander catcher. Fusil, also a freshman. Good swing there, put on that ball, pops it out foul. That one tipped into the glove. Strikeout number 9 now. As Olivia Profit will come to the plate. Olivia popped out to second base. Back in the second inning, 0 for 1. She has a runner in scoring position as Joggin stands at second, but there are 2 away. That's going to get by the catcher all the way back to the screen. Joggin will take third. So now the first Highlander possible run stands at third base. They have their best offensive player, Olivia Profit, at the plate. Opportunity here to get on the board for the Highlanders. Is that pitch up high, ball 2 to Profit. Profit, one of the sophomores on this team, fouls that back into the screen. Strike 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count to Olivia. Runner on third is Emily Joggin. 2 away here, bottom of the 4th. Ball 3 in there, low to Profit. Highlander pitcher Violet Laurent waiting on deck. Profit fouls that back into the screen. Count remains 3 balls. Count moves full, I should say. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Highlander baseball team playing over at Medford. Profit bloop just over the third baseman's head as she had to stay on holding Joggin on, and that allowed Profit to bloop that single just into left field, an RBI single for Olivia Profit, and the Highlanders are off the schneid with a run. That'll bring up Violet Laurent. Highlander starting pitcher swings and misses at that rise ball. No balls and a strike, 21-1. Now the Mustang lead as Profit stands at first. That one catches the inside for strike two. No balls, 2 strikes to Laurent. As Jacqueline Zoe St. Bryce waits on deck, Laurent fouls that back into the screen. Highlanders getting their first action on the base paths here in the 4th inning. Able to force a run across on the RBI single by Profit. 2 away. Swung on and missed by Laurent, and that will do it for the Highlanders here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. But as I mentioned, they forced a run across on the RBI single by Olivia Profit. And Highlanders trail 21-1 as we move to the top half of the 5th inning here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back here at Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV, opening day for the softball team here at Trum, home opener, as they trail 21-1 against the reigning GBL champion Medford Mustangs. Violet Laurent still on the mound for the Highlanders as she opens things up. First pitch fouled back into the screen. Swung on and missed, strike 2. It's a fly ball, center field, charging in, looking to make the play, but unable to get a hold of it. So Alexis Pereira, she overran that one. A little misjudgment there from center field for Pereira. That'll bring up Sid, the pitcher for the Mustangs. She has multiple RBIs and runs scored today. Best offensive player on their team in this number 3 hole. Comes up with a runner on first. Highlanders trailing here 21-1. Down low by Laurent, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Been talking about all day the youth on this team. No senior on this team. Laurent, the pitcher, sophomore. Or I should say freshman. Freshmen all over the field for the Highlanders, as well as many sophomores also. As that one left up by Laurent, ball 3, 3 balls, no strikes, now the count. And that'll be ball 4. Sid will take the walk to first. Runners on first and second here, nobody out. That pitch left up high, ball 1. Medford, a very experienced team. GBL champions last year. Last time they lost a GBL game was back in calendar year 2024 in mid-May. So they went undefeated last year in the GBL. So that pitch left up high. Ball 3. Laurent trying to close out this game. So the Highlanders will be up in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As of now, they would be required to get 11 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning in order not for this game to end. Now bases filled with Mustangs. So the opportunity here to take even a larger lead. Nobody out, infield in for the Highlanders. popped up, charging in is jogging, and she'll step into the pitching circle to make that play. First out here in the top half of the 5th inning. I'll bring up Ava. She doubled back last inning. This one popped up as well, jogging, settling underneath it, and she'll make the play. So 2 quick outs here for the Highlanders after the bases got loaded up with Mustangs. And Laurent possibly pitching her way out of this trouble as she's forced 2 pop-ups straight to the shortstop jogging. It's a ground ball. Joggin will get it at short, fires it across the diamond. Bowie makes the catch, and that will do it on the 6-3 putout as Emily Joggin figures into all the outs in that inning for the Highlanders. They hold the Mustangs off the board. Score still remains 21-1 as we move to the top half, or bottom half, I should say, of the 5th inning. Highlanders, lots of work to do here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back here on Somerville Ed TV at Trum Field. So the Highlanders open out their home schedule here at Trum, trailing the reigning GBL champions of Medford by the score of 21-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Remind you again, the mercy rule is after 5 complete innings, if you are trailing, if you're the home team, trailing by 10 or more runs, the game will be over. So the Highlanders have to get 11 runs across in order to get back into this game and extend it further than the 5th inning. As Jacqueline Zoe St. Bryce checks in, watches strike 1 from the pitcher Sid. She has been phenomenal in the circle for the Mustangs as she ranges off the rubber outside the circle, fires over to first, and that will be the first out of the inning as St. Bryce grounds it back to the pitcher. Sid has been tremendous on the mound, 10 strikeouts on the day through her 4 1/3 innings of work. Giovanna Varela checking in. She started the game in left field, gave way to Brittany Joppa. Joppa took the at-bat for this part of the lineup last time, striking out looking. So Varela will get her first opportunity at the plate today. And that one in there for called strike to Varela. Varela, one of the 5 juniors on this team. That one fouled back into the screen. Strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes. It's a spirit coming from that Highlander dugout still. Rooting on their teammate, Giovanna Varela. That one tipped into the mitt. Strike 3. Varela got a little contact there. Was not able to motivate it out of the catcher's mitt after that. That'll bring up Julia Leandro. As strike 1 comes in to Leandro. 2 away here. Medford looking to shut it down right here by getting Leandro out. That one is ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Julia Leandro. Swung on and missed, strike 2 to Leandro. And that is called strike 3, and that will do it as the Mustangs will continue their long streak of GBL wins. They are now 3-0 overall, 2-0 in the GBL. Highlanders will drop to 1-3 overall, 0-3 in the GBL as the Highlanders fall in this game in 5 innings, 21-1. Great job on the mound by the Medford pitcher Sid. as she had 12 strikeouts in the game. Just a tremendous job overpowering this young Highlanders lineup. As you see, so much youth out there for the Highlanders. Lots of learning can be done and will be done, and I know head coach Ashley Fury excited to teach these young players and see what can develop over time. But that's going to do it for us as Medford continues their GBL domination. 21-1 is your final score here from Trum Field. Thank you so much for watching at home. Really, really do appreciate it. Want a special thanks to Somerville Mayor Jake Wilson throwing out the first pitch today, as well as joining us here for the first couple innings at our broadcast position. Thank you as well, Lenny Scaletta on camera. Our director, he is Joe Constantine. I am Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Highlanders Softball on Somerville EdTV.